Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Ines Kalman. In today's video, we're going to look at communication. Now, before we get into details, please remember to like, share, and comment. And if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, please do that. And in today's video, as I said earlier, we're going to look at communication. So, communication is a two-way of giving and receiving information through various channels. Whether speaking formally to a colleague, addressing a conference or meeting, or writing a newsletter article or formal reports. So the following are important in communication. Why you need to know your audience? Because this will help you to frame how to communicate. Know your topic, because knowing your topic will let you to speak from a position of authority. You speak with authority. You also need to communicate a little at a time, because people can only process small amounts of information at a time and present information in several ways. Varying presentation that can enhance the process of communication. Now let's look at the two types of communication, which include verbal communication and non-verbal communication. So, verbal communication, this is the use of words while communicating with someone. Now, non-verbal communication. So, you might have heard of a proverb which states that actions speak louder than words. So, before we even go far, this just tells us what non-verbal communication is. So, non-verbal communication is a type of communication where you send and receive messages in various ways without the use of words, just actions. And this type of communication is both international and international. But unfortunately, most speakers or listeners are not conscious of how important non-verbal communication is. It usually consists of a touch, eye contact, posture, and smell. But why is non-verbal communication important? Basically, it is one of the key aspects of communication, and it has multiple functions. One, repeat verbal messages point in the direction while stating a direction. You need to repeat verbal messages by pointing in a direction while stating a direction. Assess a verbal message. For example, verbal time indicates the actual meaning of specific words. Complement the verbal message, but also may contradict. I'm saying that complement the verbal message, but also it may also contradict. For example, a nod can reinforce a positive message, a nod to nod your head, and a wink may contradict a stated position message. First of all, what is to wink? Okay, I know a lot of you know the meaning of wink, but some they don't know. So, to wink is to blink an eye, like that's it. Then you also need to do what? To substitute for the verbal messages, especially if it is blocked by a noise or interruption. For example, gesture fingers to lips to indicate the need of quiet. You do this. You indicate that the sign to be quiet or the need to be quiet. We move on. We go to the communication effective. Just as Lazarus in 2011 mentioned that everyone communicates in one way or another, but very few people have mastered the skills of truly effective communication. Breakdown in communication occur all too often and usually leads to a wide range of social problems, from hate, feelings, and anger to divorce and violence. Effective communication can be achieved by sticking to two major guidelines. One, make sure you have the attention of the person you wish to communicate with by establishing and maintaining high contact. 2. Try to send clear messages that are congruent in both verbal and non-verbal dimensions. To be congruent, you need to make sure the tone and volume you use agrees with the content of the message you send. For example, if you are pleased, look happy and sound happy. But if you are hungry, look annoyed and sound annoyed without yelling. That's it. We go to the barriers to communication. So, the barriers to communication, we all know that every form of communication is complex, whether we realize it or not. Listening to or reading someone else's messages, we often filter what's being said through a screen of our opinion. One of the major barriers to communication are our own ideas and options. So, communication is both an expressive message sending and a receptive message receiving process. Failure to communicate effectively can be due to a problem on either or both ends of the process. Some common barriers of effective communication are some common barriers of effective communication are: 1. The use of jargon. So, this just means that, for example, you need to keep it simple and avoid uncomplicated and familiar and or technical terms. Language different and the difference in understanding and familiar accents. So the languages are different and the way we understand things, they are unfamiliar. Cultural difference. The norms of social interaction vary greatly in different cultures as the way in which we express our feelings and emotions. Language different in understanding and familiar accents. As I said earlier, the languages, since they are different and the way we also understand is different, and in cultures we all have different ways of expressing feelings and emotions, in which can make the understanding to be quite different. Expectation and prejudice, which it is one which can lead to false assumption or stereotyping. When this is when now a person jumps into incorrect conclusion without even hearing or listening to the other side of the story. They just jump into the incorrect conclusion. That's it. Now we move on to communication in companies. First of all, how do companies communicate with their staff? Definitely, I'm sure all of you start thinking that it's a meeting. Yes, you are right. A lot of companies, they use meetings when communicating with their staff. But Peter Pan in 2001, he said that everyone thinks that meetings are important, but few of us truly benefit from attending. The reasons are many, but primarily, meetings often waste time, don't transmit important and updated information, and there is usually a lack of timely flow up of important tasks that have been identified. So, to combat this issue, managers should remember that there should be a commitment to the use of effective verbal, formal and informal meeting, and non-verbal memorandums, briefing, communication within a company. So they shouldn't just think of meetings, but they should also be thinking of how they can change the way they communicate with their staff. We go to presentations. So it is your message that is important. So therefore, Presentation is the vehicle for driving your message and to create the results. So a sign of a successful presentation is one that moves people to action. You know it was a success if there is a purchase. So here we need to be changing the way we do our presentation. Okay, we do presentation differently. Some they say that talent is the one which makes someone to present well. We say no, talent doesn't make someone to present well, but practice does. So we need to be looking for many different ways of doing presentation so that it can be more interesting and it can be delivered to people with results. That's it. Now we go to discussions. Just as Patson in 2012 said that crucial conservation are defined as a discussion between two or more people. So this one now, you need to understand that discussion is between two or more people. And in an organization, when they are discussing, that is when now they can understand how each other thinks like. Like we are all given a privilege to say something on the discussion, and definitely what we are discussing, through what we are discussing, a lot of people can know how we are. Now we move on to the diagnosis. So in business and management, how can we diagnose the level of communication within an environment? In any profession, employees should possess great oral and written communication skills and have excellent interpersonal communication skills as well. Unfortunately, people tend to spend more time working in the technical professions. So in business management, it's saying that workers should be given a great oral and writing of communication skills so that all the workers in the presentation, in the meeting, they can present something. Now let's go on, we look at sales. We all know that communication is the foundation of business culture. So when we have poor communication, definitely we have no sales. So the way we communicate with our customers matters. We need to be knowing how to be communicating. We need to improve the skills of communicating with customers. And we also need to have that motivation of speaking to customers, because when we do that, that's when our organization, our company can perform well. Now let's look at the last part, which is meeting management. So under meeting management, this is where now you need to handle effective meetings. So the way we handle effective meetings are the way we make changes and change in how we grow, as stated by Peter Pali in 2021. The following suggestion can be used as a blueprint for managing meetings. Gather input from all perspectives when you design a meeting or during meeting. Make sure that there is follow-up with key tasks identified during meetings. Consider the use of professional development during meetings as the way to teach a content rather than mostly lecturing on the concept. So under meeting management, now when we handle the meeting, this is where now the managers, they need to do what? To gather more information about how they are working and how they want to change in that organization, the changes they are making, so that everyone can know. Because when they do that, when they consider that, definitely there will be improvement in an organization. We end here, guys, and please remember to like, share, and comment. And if you've not yet subscribed, please do that. Hit the ring button and subscribe to my channel. Bye, guys, and see you in my next video where we're going to be talking about bench marketing. Bye.